Yeah. Get over here! Ricky! Rhonda, calm down. Yeah, it's me. It's Ray. Yeah, I just scared the shit out of Ricky. Hey, it's Raglan Jr., a next generation landscaping. I at one of my customers' houses today. They want some Crape Myrtles pruned down and trimmed back, or however it may be, because they're, you know, afraid of, you know, people hiding behind it, which it could be, you know, and some people stand on the corner and stand behind it and it can really startle her, or, you know, somebody that's, you know, walking down the street or however it may be. So, you know, by her being elderly, you know, we said we'll go ahead and take care of it for her, and we'll work out the payments later, or however it may be. I just put it on the invoice at the end of the month, something like that. But we're just going to cut them low and trim them back, just so she'll be able to be visible to see what's going on in her yard. You know, I've had several videos about this. If you just look on my YouTube channel, you'll know what I'm talking about. But this is particularly talking about, you know, Crape Myrtles and stuff like that, how to trim those back and get those, you know, up to par and stuff like that. Okay, but this is the house that we did called Steep Hills. Okay, so I'll you know, the video should be up top, but I'll put the link in the description so you all will be able to see, you know, what's going on. All right, so let me show you without further ado, and we'll get the ball rolling. So with this Crape Myrtle right here, she just wants us to cut this back, because if you notice, this is coming down her driveway. This is coming down her driveway, and she wants to be able to see over her fence line when she's coming down, because she doesn't want nobody to be behind the fence or however it may be. So we're just going to go ahead. As you can see, we cut it before down here. This is where we cut it before. All right, and the new growth came, so what we're going to do is we're just going to cut it where the new growth is, like here, you know, here, you know, but you can see where we cut it before with the stubs and stuff like that. All right, so it's not going to hurt it cutting it down now. We just are going to cut it down now so it'll be ready, you know, for next year or however it may be. Okay, so then over here, she just has a stump over here. Okay, this is just a stump that a tree she cut down, and she just wants us to cut it down so it can be visible for when she's standing back on her property, so she can be able to see that's over there. So if she come out in the yard, if she comes out in the yard like right here, she'll be able to be visible to see what's going on down here. Okay, so then we get to this. All right, so Ricky knew, you know, not to walk down here no more. So yeah, we just gonna cut this down so when she's up in the yard, she'll be able to see, you know, over the fence, and she'll be able to see, you know, what's going on and stuff like that. So won't nothing be hiding or however it may be. Like I said before, we went ahead and cut the stuff down before. Here go one part we cut, another part we cut, another part we cut. So we're just gonna go ahead and just cut the new growth off and this and that, you know, tidy it up and have it looking good for her. Okay, so when you're standing back in the yard, you can see she can't really see what's going on. All right, so we're standing back in the yard right here, and nothing's being able to see. You all right? So you really can't see what's going on down over on that side, and you really can't see what's going on that side. What she really wants to be able to see, especially when she's coming here. All right. So when she's coming down, you got the main weed whacking for me real quick. When you're coming down the walkway, as you can see, if you were standing here, somebody could instantly be standing behind this Crape Myrtle and things can go wrong. but all we're going to use is for this property is for the big limbs and this Crape Myrtle right here. By it being bigger and we have to extend all the way in there, I'm gonna use my extended pile pruner right here. I'm gonna use the extended echo pile pruner, okay? And then for the smaller ones, like up there where Jermaine is, up there and right there, I'm gonna use my trusty old loppers just to get precise cuts and stuff like that. Okay, oh excuse me. Okay, so when you're walking down, you instantly know that, this is what it's going to be. So we're going to cut this down, cut that down, and cut that down. Have it tidy for her so she can feel a little bit more safe at her residence. And we're going to get it going. All right, before we get into the video, the action footage, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, give it a big thumbs up, leave a comment. All feedback is good feedback in my opinion. Help out the channel a little bit. Oh, don't forget to hit that notification bell. All right. Here we go. We're ready to get to it. See you in a second. Hello, it's Raglan Jr. Just one quick tidbit that I wanted to reiterate. If you can, when you have large shrubs by your driveway, it's always good to back in to your driveway when you're coming home, because if you just pull in and you have large shrubs and you're trying to back out to, get out your driveway, you will be in a blind spot. You will not be able to see everything on how to get out, and you'll be taking a chance on something or somebody being behind the shrub, and you'll leave yourself accessible and vulnerable. It could be a car coming down the street, as you see here, and you won't be able to see what's actually going on. So if you can, it's always best to back in the driveway when you come home. That way you can literally just pull off and really see what's going on. If a car's coming, if somebody's behind the bush, if an animal is there, somebody walking up the street, or something like that, because you don't want no type of mix-up, no type of mishap, and we want to, everybody to remain safe, whether you're elderly, middle-aged, young, everybody wants to remain safe. So always make sure to back in your driveway when you come home, when you have large shrubs by your driveway. Okay, I got something to say real quick. I'll be back to you in a second. Just want to show you something real quick, what I was talking about the cuts. Here you go. So this is where we cut it at before, last year, and this is where we cut it at this year. Okay, so just make sure you make your precise cuts, okay, down to where you cut it, all right, to your designated height. You can cut it to your designated height, but make sure they're precise cuts. You see how precise that cut is? Nice and sharp edges. Okay, let me show you the blade. Hold on. Nice sharp, nice sharp blades. Okay, these are nice sharp blades, so you don't get no diseases in there. Okay, you can throw alcohol, or they got blade lubricants that you can put on to keep from getting fungus in the shrubs and in the bushes and stuff. Okay, but make sure that your blades are sharp and get those precise cuts. Okay, and always make sure that you cut it back off of the fence. Okay, just make sure you cut them back off of the fence. The height that you choose to do, that's totally up to you. Okay, but I just wanted to show you nice, precise, precision cuts. Okay, we just cut it down to the height it was before, and that was it. Just cut the new growth. We didn't do nothing with the old or nothing like that. Just cut the new growth, and next year it's going to sprout out some more new growth, and you just carry on from there, okay? All right, see you in a second. Back to work. Hello, we're cutting the stump down. I recommended that we go ahead and cut, around this stump because as you see in the previous footage and as you will see in at the footage at the end, is when they come out their front door, they can't see over into the yard. They can't even see into the other Crape Myrtle. This is something else for somebody to happen into as well, or animal to nest in, or anything like that. So when they come out their front door, they will instantly, it'll be instantly be open. That way it'll be an open area. Nothing or nobody will be able to hide behind it. We will spray some chemicals down to dissolve the root so nothing will grow back onto the stump, okay? You want your place as open as possible because you don't want to give nothing or anybody a chance to hide up in there, okay? All right, I got something to say. I'll be back to you in a second. Hello, I just wanted to point out one thing. I know some people be talking about, man, why you don't use the pruning shears for this and this and that, however it may be. When you get to a certain thickness of the shrub, it'll lock your blades up, it'll tear your blades up on your pruning shears, and you'll wind up having to buy a whole new, set of pruning shears, and you don't want to do that. So let me show you. The pruning shears are not going through this. Or this, not even this, okay? Not even this. This is too thick for pruning shears to go through, okay? Now, if you're talking about something like this, something like this, or something like this, or something like these little ones, yeah, pruning shears are good. But the pruning shears will not go through this because of the thickness of the thing, and you'll wind up messing up your pruning shears, and then you have to buy a whole new set of pruning shears or blades or however it may be. But you don't want to do that, okay? So just to save the fact, just use your loppers or use your chainsaw to go ahead and just cut this stuff down and this and that, however it may be. I'm using the loppers because I want to see what I'm doing, and it's not that much, so I can go ahead and use it. Now if it was a whole lot or something like that, then I would have took the chainsaw and just went ahead and cut it down, okay? So be safe than sorry. Use your loppers. Don't use the pruning shears for thick branches like this. Back to the video. Hello, just to reiterate, just take your time when clearing around stumps or anything. Just to, when you're dealing with something, as small as this project, just take your time and do precise cuts on your stumps, okay? Because, even though, you may check, or even though you may, survey, if anything's in there or however it may be, you really just don't know until you start getting down in there. You know what I mean? Because, it could be something that, could be in it that could literally startle you, and everything could really go left, okay? But just take your time and just, cut them down, use precise cuts, and, just have everything nice, open, and neat. And as you can see here, it's just really, a major difference where, it looks a lot more open. It looks a lot more neater, even though, we cut the grass and edge it up and everything too as well. As you'll see at the end, and you will be able to see the end result of how much open, it is. So, stay tuned, and stick around, towards the end so you can see the end result. And I got something to show you about the big Crape Myrtle at the end of the video, okay? So, even with this big Crape Myrtle, I always, tell my wife, I tell, my mother, I tell my mother-in-law, I tell, all family members, friends, or however it may be, The thing is, everybody wants to get out and get the steps. Okay, they got the fit dance, you know, they want to go out and get the exercise. I always tell, you know, my sons, you know, and their friends, or however it may be, when you're walking down the street and you see big shrubs like this, pay attention, survey. If you don't feel comfortable, walk to the other side of the street. You know, if you can't get to the other side of the street, turn around and go the opposite way. Because, I mean, literally, you just don't know, you know, what's hiding behind there. You just don't know what's in there. You just don't know what's going on. I mean, and it may not be somebody that's, you know, or in something that's behind you. It's just that, you know, you just don't know. You just want to take precaution because, you know, in this day and time, anything's, you know, can happen, you know, and you just don't want to leave yourself out there, you know, vulnerable and this and that, or however it may be, you know. And when you come, if you're walking down or taking your jog or getting your steps in, or just, you know, chilling, you know, with people or however it may be, you always don't want nothing in your ears, especially by you being in a street park or something like that, because if you come across there and something's fidgeting in there, you won't be able to hear it. Sometimes if something's in there or somebody's in there and they're fidgeting around, you know, before you come up on it, you can actually hear, you know, what's going on. So if you're, you know, got headphones on like I got headphones on, you know, I like to listen to my podcast while I'm doing this stuff, you know, you know, just, you know, take them off for a second and then, you know, just listen to hear if you can hear anything that may be, you know, fidgeting around in there, okay? But make sure, please, make sure to either, you know, survey as you're walking down to make sure nothing or nobody is in there. If you can, if you're not sure and you're not comfortable, go to the opposite side of the street, walk down just to make sure, you know, nothing or nobody is over there. And if you can't get across the street, or if you still can't see, because there are going to be bushes not like this Crape Myrtle that will be much thicker, that, you know, like you may run across like a holly or an evergreen or a burning bush or something like that, that you literally will not be able to see through, or something like that, you know what I mean? So either exit, you know, across the street, go across the street and then walk down. That way, you know, you won't be leaving yourself accessible and vulnerable if something's behind there. If you can't cross the street, just, you know, turn around and go back, you know, the opposite way. Or, you know, you can, you know, take your time and really look, you know. But when you're doing those steps, always make sure you got a stick with you or some type of, you know, pole object or something like that, just in case, you know, something runs up on you or something like that. You can literally, you know, defend yourself. And the most popular thing is, you know, that I like to have is for my mother is she'll have a stick, or you know, have some mace or something like that. That way, you know, if something does, you know, occur, she'll be, you know, prepared, you know. But it's nothing like, you know, you not knowing what'll happen, you know, when it does happen, you know. But this is just a precaution, you know, taking precaution in the matter, and, you know, because we want everybody to remain safe, you know, and healthy. Okay, so, you know, once again, I'm gonna say it one more time. If you can, you know, and you see these tall bushes, please, you know, survey. If you don't feel comfortable, go across the street and then walk down. If you can't cross the street, just please turn around and go the opposite way. Okay, I'm using I'm using these loppers just to show you it can be done with loppers, and it can be done in an efficient amount of time. Okay, It can be done in an efficient amount of time. At the end of this video, I'm gonna show you, the precise cuts it did with the loppers. I'm taking my time because I did find something in there, as you'll see at the end. Okay, I did find something in this big Crape Myrtle, as you will see at the end. So stay tuned to the end, and you'll see, what happened. Okay. All right. Thank you for tuning in. I hope this was useful for you. I hope you can use these tips. I'm a big fan of keeping your shrubs low around your property. That way, you'll be safe and everybody else around you will be safe. Okay, and you won't be, vulnerable. Okay. All right. Stick around to the end. And this is Raglan Jr. coming from Next Generation Landscaping. Keep persevering by any means necessary. Until next time, see you. Hello, back at you again. We all done. Everything's opened up. Let me show you the finished product real quick. So, when she comes down the driveway, she'll be able to see everything's cut back the way she wanted. That's good to go over there. So now, see how much better you can see down in here now. So now everything's clear, and when she steps out, she can actually see what's going on. Okay, so we actually cut the grass while we was here too. Okay, so we're gonna walk on down and give it to you from another angle. Make sure you cut the stuff back up off the fence. That way, if anybody's walking by or anything like that, won't scrape up against them or anything that you don't want nothing to get tangled up in between the fence too as well. All right, so she can come on down. And if you notice, when you're coming on down now, even if you're looking over on this side, you can see if anybody's up in there now, or you can see if anybody's coming or things of that nature. That's just the height that they wanted it. All right, and this is the way they wanted it. And it's cut back off the fence, as you can see here. So we go back over here, nice and open. Okay, so that's the finished product. I left the bird nest up in there just in case they want to come back and chill for a second, get some sun. Ain't no wrong with it, okay? So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope this was useful for you. Make sure to use precise cuts. Make sure to use precise cuts so you don't get no type of jagged edges or infectious diseases in there. Nice and precise, okay? Make sure the blades on your chainsaws and your loppers, and if you got smaller limbs, like real smaller limbs, on your pruning shears are sharpened and sterilized, okay? This is Raglan coming from Next Generation Landscaping. Keep persevering by any means necessary. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment. Don't forget to leave it that big thumbs up. All feedback is good feedback in my opinion. Help out the channel a little bit. Until the next time, which there will be a next time. See ya.